The world is full of idiots. We can't deny that. Now, who are these idiots? Who do not listen to others, who don't understand, who don't want to learn, who don't want to be flexible. All right. So you can see that I have used a lot of negative words, right? Don't. So they're not ready. That's the thing. So idiots, nobody is a born idiot, right? So people do actually become idiots whenever they are not flexible and not ready to learn, right? But on the contrary, most of the people are not ready to learn. As you guys know, that entire world is some or the other echoing that we need to learn, we need to upskill ourselves, we need to some or the other learn different technologies which are actually driving the entire workforce, and of course at the same time it's driving business, and we all want to get some profit out of the business, right? So it's needed, needless to say. But on the contrary, who are these idiots and when would they learn? Are they ready? No, they're not. Definitely that's the reason they are idiots. But when? So the question will remain unanswered till the time we take the responsibility to make them understand, right? If they are not ready, it's very difficult, but it's not impossible. Maybe the way you are trying to make them aware of, maybe that trick, that way is not working for them, because each and every idiot has his or her own characteristics, right? So considering that, how would you justify, how would you think that one person is acting as idiot? Now, I can give you one particular example which I've observed in everywhere, and I think that's an universal truth, in my opinion. And what's that? Think about traffic rules and regulations. Why do we have traffic rules and regulations are in place? For passengers' safety. Simple, right? We all want to stay alive, and whenever we go out in the road, whenever we drive, whenever we are traveling from one place to another, there is a minimal of risk that we all agree. So for that reason, there should be a standardization, there should be a standard mechanism, there should be rules, there should be compliance which people should follow in order to ensure safety for everyone. That's the reason rules or regulations are there, especially when it comes to traffic. I don't know what to say, but people should be aware of it, people should follow. But do all the people follow? No, they do not. That's the reason we have that's the reason we have representatives who are trying to enforce that traffic rules and regulations, right? So everywhere you will find out on the road, the traffic police or traffic person is there. Now, then why do they need? These idiots are making them to be there for each and every person's safety. And you want to know why I call them idiots? Think about this perspective. Most of the people, they are somehow or the other following traffic rules and regulations. It's not that everyone is not following. No, they are. But some of the guys, some of the idiots, I would say, they are thinking breaking rules can help them to gain some power. Now, what's this particular power? It's about a superiority complex, I believe. Most of the people who are suffering from superiority complex, they are actually inferior. Think about it this perspective. If we constantly think about that we are inferior, then somehow or the other we will die. And people who don't want to die with that kind of complex, they start thinking about superiority complex, and then somehow or the other they get deviated. They get affected by that. So they do not have talent somehow or the other, but they start thinking they have a lot of talent. Now trust me, if they do not think about it like that, they will not be able to survive. They will not be able to socialize. They will not be able to perform, and they will not be able to somehow or the other stay focused. Now the point is how to deal with these idiots and what do they do? So breaking rules, specifically traffic rules, have become a significance of a powerful person. Why? Because they think if they can break the rules and still get away with it, they have some sort of power which is actually demolishing all those protectors of society. Typically, I'm talking about laws, rules, policemen, cops, and all those, right? So if they can get away with something, they think they have done something which can be punishable, but they are not punished because they are powerful. So typically, what I'm trying to say, idiots are not innocents. Idiots are typically who are not willing to learn, who are not willing to follow anything. We have to make them understand what they are doing and why they are doing. So that why factor, if they can understand some or the other, or rather we can help them to understand, I'm sure one day they will be able to find out the real himself or herself out of that idiot person. And honestly, I do not pity any idiots in the world. What I do think, I think all idiots, some or the other, are a little sick. They need help, maybe psychologically. So they need to go for counseling. We have a lot of great counselors across the globe. They are actually qualified people who can judge, who can help others, especially those idiots, to become a normal human being. I'm not saying that those idiots will become a clever person whenever they are actually going for counseling and they are associating with those counselors. No, but some or the other, they will find out that whatever the sick mentality they are possessing, they can get rid of it. They would think that why these things are there. But yes, at the same point of time, I would also like to blame the society. You know why? Because people who are actually following those guidelines, who are actually maintaining that safety on the road, they have never been acknowledged. They have never been applauded on the road. I think we should find out that particular area of concern. It's and everywhere. I always talked about the business, right? So I talked about that method called DIME, D-I-M-E. So the last letter E stands for encouragement. So if we do not recognize, how would we be able to encourage them who are actually following the guidelines? So some or the other on the road, maybe by the traffic policemen or maybe some traffic personnel, should start acknowledging those people who are actually following guidelines, who are actually maintaining and ensuring traffic rules are intact. I think they should be. And some or the other, we have to find out a way for that one. So the global society I'm talking about, which I have been, you can understand that these are the things, are the pillars of a global society. So we need to encourage, we need to constantly encourage others to follow rules and regulations. It's not only about traffic. That was one of the odd examples. The main thing is to follow rules, follow guidelines, and it's for their own benefit. It's there for everyone's benefit, and they should understand. Being idiot, it also ensures that you are not able to understand what's wrong and what's right. So you should seek help. And there is no nobility in learning less. There is no nobility in not knowing less, because you think if you know much, it will somehow or the other put some pressure on you, put some burden on you. That's not the right way of thinking, because somehow or the other you have to take it at the end of the day. So yeah, don't try to flee, try to take up the challenge. Believe me, challenge will not be considered as a challenge if you take it up.